Welcome back to Askewed Reviews, and this week I'm doing movies in honor of Memorial Day, and this is the 1987 film, The Dirty Dozen, The Deadly Mission. Here is your trivia question for today. At the beginning of the film, who are Wright and his team trying to take out? The answer will be at the end of this episode. So with this third installment, we are back in World War II, where we also meet up again with General Worden, who finds out that there is another mission that needs to be taken on by a group of people that might be expendable. This time around, he reaches out to Major Wright, who apparently has headed up a few Dirty Dozen missions in the past. So just like in the previous films, Wright has to go to the military prison to assemble his team of degenerates and misfits to become the new Dirty Dozen. Now, just like in the previous film, this starts off with a team of 13, but one of them unfortunately does not make it through training. Eventually, the team is ready to head off to German-occupied France. From there, they will have to covertly sneak their way in to a monastery that is being used by the Germans. Once inside, they will have to accomplish a few tasks. First, finding the warheads filled with a deadly nerve gas, and they will have to blow them up. Second, find and free all of the scientists and their families that were forced into this project. And lastly, try to take out all German soldiers that might get in their way. So will this new Dirty Dozen be able to accomplish their mission? And even if they do so, will any of them make it back out alive? This movie was directed by Lee H. Katzin. The original plan was to bring Lee Marvin back as his character from the first two Dirty Dozen movies, but unfortunately he was too ill to return. So instead they brought in Telly Savalas, who played a character named Archer Maggot in the first Dirty Dozen, but now comes in as a new character, Major Wright, for this film. Ernest Borgnine is back once again, reprising his role from the first two films of General Worden. Wolf Kahler, who appeared in the last film, is back again, but this time as a new character of Colonel Krieger. One of the new actors you might recognize in this film is Randall Tex Cobb. He plays the character of Swede, and he has appeared in many movies as different henchmen and prisoners. Tom Matthews is also a new addition to the cast, and you might recognize him from his appearances in the first two Return of the Living Dead films, or as Tommy Jarvis in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Major Reisman is not the only character that seems to get replaced in this film, as Richard Yeckel's character of MP Sergeant Bowen seems to change over to Vince Edwards' character of Sergeant Holt. This is the only Dirty Dozen film that does not have one of the dozen being played by an African-American actor. The movie was filmed in Slovenia and Croatia. So when it comes to the film, The Dirty Dozen, The Deadly Mission, this one is just a little bit better than the second movie, but not by much. I am glad that with this movie, they decided to just change the character to Major Wright, since they couldn't get Lee Marvin back to play Major Reisman. Some of the characters in this film are definitely likable, and the story, in my opinion, is definitely better than the previous film. So I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. Now it's time for the trivia question from the beginning of this episode. At the beginning of the film, who are Wright and his team trying to take out? So Major Wright and his team try to set up a trap so they can hopefully assassinate Benito Mussolini. Unfortunately, it looks like they just missed him. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews, and if there's a movie you'd like to see get a review, just mention it in the comments.